Looks like we have a series now. The Dodgers went to Philly and got pushed around.
Ripped into left. Phillies win game 1.
Game 2 is when blood began to boil.
Oh, I mean, that wasn't even close. The Phillies took care of business at home, and now out we go to the West Coast.
At home, Game 3, the Dodgers pushed back.
The rookie delivers. It's 5-zip. Wow. There's another one from a Philly pitcher. I would be shocked if the Dodgers don't retaliate tonight. And there's one behind the back of Victorino. Hold on now. We got action at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers win Game 3.
Now, the boys in blue are one win from tying the series. Game 4 of the NLCS is next on Fox.
Welcome to the Chevy pregame show on Fox. Chevy, an American revolution. Their Dodgers were getting pushed around in more ways than one in this NLCS. But last night, with the world watching, they finally pushed back. Literally. And now as Russell Martin sees it, we've got a series because his Dodgers have a win, and they've made it known they are not going down without a fight. Now, honestly, the shot heard around the Southland missed Shane Victorino, but it definitely put a knock in this series, and now we'll see if the Fightin' Phils can come up with a retaliatory Game 4 victory. Road wins continue to be hard to come by when these teams meet. And before first pitch, we've got a lineup change to announce. I'm Jeannie Zelasco, joined by Kevin Kennedy, former manager of the Red Sox and the Rangers. But look who showed up, a former Dodger.
They brought in more speed.
You're just a bandwagon LA Dodger fan. Is that what it is?
Wait a minute. The Dodgers win a game, so you finally show up. Is that it?
Hey, I finally got invited back, man. I had to get Gracie out of here.
All right, Eric Carousel. By the way, we welcome you, and we welcome the audience that just finished watching the Rays beat up on the Red Sox. So I'll bring you some highlights shortly. We got Dodgers rushing the set, right? Dodgers rushing the field last night. A statement game for LA. Started with Philly making noise really back in Game 2.
Yeah, it really took place in Game 2 with Brett Myers on the hill. Now here he's facing Russell Martin. This is the 5th pitch of the game. Boom, he's up and in, puts Russell Martin on his back. As a hitter, doesn't like it. 9th pitch of the game. Where's that? That is behind Manny Ramirez.
It just slipped.
Oh, it just slipped. Slip on this right now. That's what Don Mattingly's saying.
You know, it's funny. Manny was not angry. He was actually impressed by Brett Myers. Quote, I'd want to have a guy like that on my team. He's going to go out there and battle, Kevin.
Yeah, he's going to battle, and Russ Martin's going to take it right here in the kneecap off of Jamie Moore. Now, that's not intentional. That's the first inning. He's trying to get out of the inning. Jamie Moore put up a 5 spot. In the second inning, this was intentional. I don't mean to hit him, but just to stand him up, knock him down. Russ didn't like it. Took him out of this at bat, though. It worked for Condre because he got a double play ball right away. 6-4-3, and Russ Martin is upset. So you know something's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, you know something's going to happen at the top of the third. Key is get the first 2 guys out and then send a message to Victorino. And Kuroda did exactly that, earned a lot of respect by his teammates because nobody took care of it in Game 2.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody took care of it in Game 2. It took Victorino out of his at-bat. You see, he just swings. He runs down. Now he's jawing a little bit with Kuroda, telling him, don't be throwing at my head. Do not do that.
And wait for the tackle here. Joe Torre just planting Manny Ramirez up. Post-game, here's Manny on Shane Victorino.
Victorino, he's a great guy. I talk to him all the time. He just wanted to go out there and send a message. That was it.
I told Russell, I said, the one thing I asked, if you're going to hit me anywhere else. Just don't throw at my head. That's all I asked.
It wasn't at his head. It was over his head.
And it just slipped. Things just slip. All right, we're talking about a statement game. I liked Russell Martin after this one. He said, it is not a message to them, the Phillies. It's a message to us. Explanation?
Well, it really is. And look, there's 2 theories here. Philadelphia is throwing at the Dodgers because that's a strategy. You have to create some fear, some doubt in the Dodger hitters, especially with Manny. Now, the Dodgers, on the other hand, they're not sending a message to the Phillies. They're sending a message to themselves because, as Kevin mentioned, they didn't knock anybody down in Game 2. You've got to support your teammates. That's what Kuroda did in Game 3. That's why it's all good in Dodger land.
Yeah, we're not talking about hitting somebody. You're sending a message. Stand somebody up, change the eyesight, knock them down. We're not talking about hitting guys and putting men on base. That's not what this is. This is not a game for the timid. And I think the Dodgers were timid in Game 2, especially Chad Billingsley. You got to stand up for your guys. He did not do that. Kuroda stepped up and was big. And the Dodgers are a contact team, by the way. They don't strike out much. Thus, Matt Kemp out of the lineup. They're a contact team. And as Sandy Koufax used to say, you got to throw inside to pitch away. And that's what the Phillies' game plan has been. It's been a good one, except it didn't work last night with Jamie Moyer's stuff.
All right, so who's got the advantage in this one now?
Well, there isn't really an advantage. I just don't think anybody is going. The priority is not going to be to hit somebody tonight. The priority is win the ball game. Now, that's not saying that somebody's not going to get thrown up and in because, again, the Phillies' strategy to pitch against this Dodger club, you've got to brush guys off the plate. That will continue tonight.
Absolutely right. Got to pitch inside.
All right, maybe the biggest battle, though, in this series is the mental hurdle of winning in the other guy's park. The Phillies and Dodgers have played 11 times this season. Neither team has lost at home. So in reality, both teams expected a fight. For more on what to expect in Game 4, we join Joe Buck and Tim McCarver at Dodger Stadium.
All right, Jeannie and everybody, welcome out to Dodger Stadium. We get ready for game number 4. It is a pretty night where we are, and we anticipate a jam-packed house for this game. Phillies up 2-1, and I think, Tim, coming in, most people looked at these two lineups, and they, I think rightly so, looked at the two leadoff guys, Rollins for Call, both switch hitters. Up until last night, they had both really struggled.
All baseball fans know that their explosion in the middle of the lineup, but somebody's got to light the fuse, and somebody's got to ignite things. And last night for the Dodgers, Rafael Furcal did exactly that. After singling, scoring a run in the first inning, he homered to make it 6-1. So the Dodgers got exactly what they wanted out of Furcal. The Phillies, on the other hand, with Jimmy Rollins only 1 for 13 with 6 strikeouts, and that is alarming.
But look at him. He's smiling. He's kidding around. He's in a good mood. That's a good sign for the Phillies and their fans. We get ready for baseball. Until the start of Game 4, we send it back to the studio. Jeannie, all yours.
Gentlemen, thank you. We're just getting started on the Chevy pregame show. Dodger Stadium just warming up. They've already played 9 at Fenway. We will get you the explosive update of Game 3 of the ALCS. Take a look at tonight's pitching matchup for Game 4 of the NLCS. That is next on Fox. But first, October baseball has delivered everything you've ever wished for, and then some. Last night, Dodger fans finally got everything they wished for. That would be a win. LA scored 5 runs off Jamie Moyer, the most in the first inning in franchise playoff history. Then the Dodgers knocked Moyer out of the game with this Rafael Furcal home run in the second. Will LA fans continue to see moments they've always wished for? We'll soon find out. Brought to you by Traverse, the all-new crossover from Chevy. It's everything you've ever wished for, and then some. Welcome back to the Chevy pregame show on Fox. Chevy, an American revolution. Last night, Chevrolet player of the game was Dodgers starter Hiroki Kuroda. Kuroda went 6 strong innings, but it was that one pitch that just kind of slipped. Remember that one? Over Shane Victorino's head. That was everything Dodgers fans wished for and then some. Go to worldseries.com/Chevy Traverse for a new look at the all-new Chevy Traverse and a chance to win the very special trip to the 2009 All-Star Game. Of course, we're still working on this year's World Series matchup. So are the Red Sox and Rays. Game 3 of the ALCS earlier today from Fenway, boys.
Oh, ouch. That's on the Mass Turnpike right there.
And that's 5 home runs in his last 5 games, only 9 all season.
Mr. P.J. Upton, wow.
Well, Longoria acts like a 20-year veteran the way he's just been swinging a bat this postseason. He goes deep, 1 batter later, and that would pretty much be enough for Matt Garza, Jeannie. This guy just opened up the game, and Garza pitched great.
Yeah, but Dustin Pedroia here to the 5-4-3 double play. Oh, my. The Rays have the 2-1 series lead. How big is this win?
Well, not good because Tim Wakefield gets the ball next. I mean, the Red Sox were counting on this victory. They didn't get it. Now Tim Wakefield, who hasn't thrown since September 28th, nothing in the division series, he can be magical or he can be a lot of trouble.
Not impressed.
You guys don't like my guy, too.
No.
I like him. I like the guy, but that's a knuckleball. You want to win a game with a knuckleball?
Hey, you know what? Timmy can do it. That'll mess up those fastball hitting Rays.
All right, boys, keep it up because we got some quick pitch working. Kevin, right move by Joe Torre starting Derek Lowe tonight on 3 days rest?
Absolutely the right move, no question. If it goes Game 7, Derek Lowe pitches on regular rest.
Joe Blanton starting tonight for the Phillies. Should Charlie Manuel have started Cole Hamels on short rest?
No, Joe Blanton starts tonight, and if there's a Game 7, he's throwing Game 7.
All right, could have had Hamels on 7. Okay, Kevin, going back to the regular season, home teams in this series have won every game so far. Is this streak going to end?
It's not going to end. The Dodgers are going to win tonight and probably win the day after tomorrow as well.
Okay, Eric, should the Dodgers still be concerned with their offense? If you take away those runs off Jamie Moyer, the Phillies limited LA to 4 hits, 1 run through 6 2/3.
Absolutely, and that's why Matt Kemp is out, Juan Pierre in today.
Casey Blake has hit 1 in 21 career at-bats against Joe Blanton. Joe Torre has him batting 7th tonight. Nomar Garciaparra on the bench. Is this smart?
This is the right move because you got a ground ball pitcher in Derek Lowe. You want your best defense out there, and Loney at the corners with Blake. That's the right guys.
All right. Is the bad blood between these two teams over, or should we expect more?
I think you can expect more. I wouldn't count on it, but you can expect it.
Sir, you can answer as well. Yes.
Somebody gets hit.
Okay.
Yeah, the bad blood will start again.
Philly will pitch
the Phillies have hit someone in every single game, so I think that's a yes then. Let's talk about tonight on the mound, shall we? The Phillies setting their fourth start of their series. Joe Blanton going to face the Dodgers losing pitcher from Game 1, talking about Derek Lowe and mentioning 3 days rest.
Well, and he has to go. I mean, the Dodgers really don't have another alternative. I mean, it's either Greg Maddux or the rookie Clayton Kershaw. And remember, Derek Lowe threw on 2 days rest in the 2004 AL Championship Series against Joe Torre's Yankees, and he threw well. He may have a bit of a tired arm, but again, he throws a sinker, he may get more movement. What would concern me, though, that tired arm means possible lack of control, and Derek Lowe has to have control. Movement alone doesn't help him. He needs the control.
So what should we expect from Blanton?
Joe's got good stuff. 90 to 93 fastball. His out pitch, he's got a good curve when he's on. He's got a slider. He's got a changeup. He's got the whole arsenal. You know, and this is loyalty by Charlie Manuel, too. This guy pitched great in the divisionals against the Milwaukee Brewers. He was 4-0 since he came over in a trade from Oakland. He was a former #1 pick. He's got good stuff. Last time in Dodger Stadium didn't have good command, but historically he is a strike thrower, and he will pitch inside to try to get that outside corner. Like I said, you got to throw inside to pitch away. So don't expect guys not to throw inside tonight. They will.
Quick, who takes tonight real quick?
I like the Dodgers. I like Derek Lowe.
Bandwagon, that's right.
I like the Dodgers, too, tonight. I think Derek Lowe is going to come up big, and you got Kershaw and Maddux behind him.
All right,
Derek Lowe
game time fast approaching. So we're taking you to Dodger Stadium with Joe Buck. Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal, Chris Myers will handle all the action. Eric Karros will probably have some of the foam fingers to pass out. Game 4 of the NLCS next on Fox.
Southern California as this National League Championship Series continues. It is game number 4 tonight, with the Phillies up 2-1 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. And now welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal, Chris Myers are all coming up. Well, the Dodgers got exactly what they needed here last night. They got a very well-pitched game from Hiroki Kuroda. They banged out runs early. They got a 7-2 win. They're back in the series down 2-1, but there were a lot of fireworks in last night's game with the knockdowns and the benches clearing. Tim, do you think we're beyond all that as we point our way further into this NLCS?
I do. I think Major League Baseball has handled this very shrewdly. They fined 7 guys in uniform after last night's game, and it is very interesting that Major League Baseball, I do not believe that warnings are going to be a problem tonight, and I think it's going to affect Joe Blanton, the starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies, because he's so wild. And Derek Lowe, on the other hand, is a great control pitcher.
Yeah, and we'll talk specifically about what's happened between these two clubs. I talked about it in the pregame show. They've met 11 times so far this season. The home team has won every time that the two clubs have gotten together. And really, that shouldn't surprise anybody, especially for the Dodgers. Second half of the season, they've been almost unbeatable here at home.
Yeah, you've heard that expression, home is where the heart is. Home has been where the wins have been for the Dodgers in the second half of the season. They have won 25 of 34 starts here, and they have done it with the best pitching earned run average in baseball.
So it is game number 4 here tonight with the Phillies up 2-1. We roll the tape backward. Game 2. It started with a warning. And then we got to Los Angeles. And only here the drama and tension could mount even more. Hollywood style. Tempers flared, messages were sent, hostile words were exchanged, aggression, intimidation. The drama continues. Game 4, next on Fox. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by E-Trade, by Gillette Fusion Power Phenom. Fusion Power, the world's most comfortable shave. By Sprint, get more done with Nextel Direct Connect, only on the Now Network. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. We're at Dodger Stadium getting ready for game number 4. We'll give you the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Geico, and it's delivered by Philadelphia Phillies outfielder and NLCS MVP back in 1983, Gary Matthews.
Hi, my name is Gary Sarge Matthews. Here's your lineup for tonight's ball game. Leading off, playing shortstop, last year's MVP, Jimmy Rollins. Hitting second, playing right field, Jason Worth. Hitting third, playing second base, Chase Utley. Ryan Howard hitting fourth, playing first base, led the league in home runs this year. Pat Burrell hitting fifth, playing left field. Shane Victorino, we call him the Flying Hawaiian, playing center field, hitting sixth. Greg Dobbs hitting seventh, playing third base. Hitting eighth, Carlos Ruiz, catching. Pitcher for tonight, Joe Blanton.
Way to go, Sarge. And boy, he was fun to watch play, not only in the outfield, but when he'd hit a home run and he'd whip that bat back down to the ground, he was fun to watch. We welcome you here to Game 4, and this opening pitch will be brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability. Derek Lowe is on the mound. He's pitching on 3 days rest, a 14-game winner during the regular season. He lost Game 1 of this NLCS 3-2, and that's what he's done so far this postseason. And here is the Sprint pitcher profile for Derek Lowe.
Obviously, the same scouting report as Game 1. Since the 15th of August, sizzling. Dominant ground ball pitcher in Game 1. 75% of the time he threw ground balls. And as Joe mentioned, 3 days rest. When he worked in Game 1, he had 7 days rest. So I really expect him to be more effective tonight than he was in Game 1.
And there are plenty of stats that we will give you on what Derek Lowe has done in his career on short rest. Take a look at the defense for the Dodgers. It's brought to you by Geico, and the main change, even though we highlight Russell Martin behind the plate, is the guy way out in center field, Juan Pierre, who gets the start. Matt Kemp has struggled, so Joe Torre put him on the bench and put Juan Pierre in year 2 of a 5-year deal. So far on the bench in this NLCS, he's out in center. And away we go. Jimmy Rollins first up. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox. Strike one. Tim mentioned in our Fox Watch, 1 for 13. That's it. There's a change to the Philadelphia lineup. Jason Worth in the number 2 spot. And a line drive into center's a base hit for Rollins. Just his second hit of this series, and he's on to start the night for Philadelphia. We'll give you now our 4 keys to the game.
Philadelphia Phillies hope to use last night as a rallying point. And as far as the Dodgers are concerned, as we said, food tastes better at home. 25-9 since the All-Star break.
And Derek Lowe has been very good at home, and so has this Dodger pitching staff been very good at home the second half of the season. Combined ERA of under 3. Jason Worth now. Rollins starts and stops over at first. Ball 1 outside. Derek Lowe, when he's worked on 3 days of rest or fewer, 4 starts, a 3-1 record, an ERA of 4.3. As they said in our pregame show, and Eric Karros reminded us that he started and won Game 7 of the ALCS in 2004 on 2 days rest. He won the clincher of every series in the postseason that year for Boston, and that ALCS did it against Joe Torre's Yankees. An eye on Rollins, who was 47 for 50 stealing bases during the regular season.
Staggering successful percentage for Jimmy Rollins. Good guy to run on. If you throw a lot of ground balls, you can run on him.
Another start and stop, and that pitch misses. Russell Martin already is going to go out to the mound and talk to his right-hander Derek Lowe. 35 years old, a free agent to be, and these are the numbers for Derek on 3 days or less. And he's done that. 4 starts, 3-1 record on short rest. If this series, pretty big lead by Rollins, gets back in time, if this series were to go a full 7 games, Lowe could come back for the Dodgers on regular rest on Saturday in Philadelphia. But a lot has to happen, obviously, between now and then.
Normally 2-0 counts are not good counts on which to run. You want the hitter to be allowed a free swing, and then if it's 2-1, then you run.
Another start and stop, and another ball from Derek Lowe, and the count's 3-0. Not only was Rollins successful in stealing bases this season, the Phillies as a group led baseball, successful 85% of the time when they tried to steal. He doesn't go. The pitch is a strike. It's 3-1. Worth so far this postseason has hit .091 with runners on base. Rollins has a big lead over at first, and Derek Lowe has paid an awful lot of attention to him over there so far. Tonight's starter Joe Blanton for the Phillies. There goes Rollins, and a ground ball base hit into left. Rollins will turn and go to third, exactly what the Phillies wanted. A change in their lineup put together by Charlie Manuel, and it pays off immediately.
Jason Worth had a meeting with Charlie Manuel after the All-Star game. He said, I think I should be playing every day. Prior to that, he was being platooned with Jeff Jenkins. Charlie said, hit right-handers better, and we'll play you every day. Well, a tough right-hander on the mound, and a big hit for Worth.
Charlie Manuel telling us that story, and then he said, I'm pretty straight with anybody. Anybody comes in here, I'll tell them what they have to do. And he said that to Worth. Worth performed for him. He's been the everyday outfielder. And now he gets a chance in the number 2 spot. And what an opportunity here for the Phillies with Chase Utley at the plate. First and third, nobody out. Strike one. Utley took Derek Lowe deep for a game-tying 2-run shot in the 6th inning of Game 1. Up to that point, Derek Lowe had been in total control. Strike 2.
Lowe being quoted as saying, I knew Utley was looking for the fastball. He got it and tied the game.
It's the only one he got.
Yep.
And he didn't miss it.
And what does Lowe do tonight? Comes out with 2 sliders on the first 2 pitches.
Lowe wants a strikeout. Utley trying to put the Phillies on top. And that's a fair ball down the right field line. In to score is Rollins. Going to third is Worth. Into second is Utley. And it's 1-0 Philadelphia. What a start.
The Philadelphia Phillies starting tonight like the Dodgers started last night. Rollins scoring the first run of the game and going to the well once too often. Another breaking ball poked between Loney and the bag at first base, and the Phillies strike first. The first time that they have struck first in this series.
Well, the issue with Worth was Derek Lowe fell behind on the count 3-1. That was not the case with Utley. It was an 0-2 pitch. And now Ryan Howard, who has done that in his career, 2 for 19 against this Dodger right-hander, has runners on at second and third, nobody out. And he grounds one to the right side. It's booted by DeWitt. He still gets the out, and in to score is Worth. It's 2-0. So Howard made it look easy, hit it right into the defense, but made contact, drove home the run, and that's his first RBI of this NLCS.
And moves a runner to third base in Chase Utley. Bobbling the ball and getting Ryan Howard. You do 2 things with 1 swing. Score the run, move the runner.
Just a little hesitation by Howard when he looked up and saw where the defense was playing him on his way down the first baseline. The infield comes in for the play at the plate. Runner at third. Utley, 1 out. DeWitt just had enough time to recover and get the out. Strike 2.
6 straight sliders from Derek Lowe. 3 to Utley, 1 to Howard, and now 2 in a row to Burrow. Another one.
Good pitch. Burrell didn't go after it. Pat Burrell, in his career during the postseason, is hitting .222 with runners in scoring position. It does not even take a hit to make it 3-0 here tonight. The 1-2. 2-2. Home plate umpire is Ted Barrett, with Mike Winters at first, Cedarstrom at second, Mike Riley at third, Jerry Meals down the left field line, and Mike Everett down the right field line. Here's our group tonight for Game 4.
Kevin Kennedy with a good point in the pregame. You pitch inside to go away. The fastball in, back outside.
And ball 3. So Lowe had the advantage, 0-2. Now it's a full count. And no swing. First and third, 1 out, and Derek Lowe can't believe the Dodgers didn't get the call. Neither can Joe Torre.
Only 1 ball, a fastball. 2 sliders, 0-2, another slider misses. Now the fastball inside. Missing with the 2-2 pitch, and did Burrow go around? Torre thought he did. I did. I thought he did.
Looked like it. Derek Lowe couldn't believe it. Now Rick Honeycutt, I think, is going to go out and try and calm Lowe down as much as anything. He needed a strikeout. I think he feels like he got it, but did not get the call. And with Jason Worth moved up to the number 2 spot in this Philadelphia lineup, that's moved Victorino down to 6th, and he's next up. And I'll tell you, that angle gives it a little different feel. I'm not so sure that Burrell did go around. Either way, Lowe gets the visit from Honeycutt, and it's first and third, 1 out. And here is Victorino, who has already driven home 9 runs this postseason. 1 RBI shy of the Phillies' postseason record for a single postseason. Lenny Dykstra drove home 10 back in 1993. Strike 1. Also a hitter, switch hitter, batting left-handed, tough to double. The 0-1. They'll get a chance. 4-6-3. And after all that, the Phillies get 2. They leave 1. And their leadoff man, Jimmy Rollins, got it going. 2-0 Philadelphia after a half.
Hi, I'm Clayton Kershaw, and here's the starting lineup for your hometown Los Angeles Dodgers. Leading off and playing shortstop, Rafael Sparkplug for call. Batting second in right field, Andre Ethier. Batting third in left field, needs no introduction, Manny Ramirez. Batting fourth and catching, Russell, my favorite, Martin. Batting fifth at first base, James Loney. Batting sixth at second base, Blake DeWitt. Batting seventh at third base, Casey, best beard in the league, Blake. And batting eighth in center field, Juan Pierre. And batting ninth, today's starting pitcher, Derek Chatterbox Lowe.
Derek Chatterbox Lowe, and we thank Clayton Kershaw, the 20-year-old left-hander, for presenting that lineup, which is brought to all of us by Geico. And look at that. For Kyle, thinking about trying to bunt for a double as he rounded first wide, but holds on as he popped it over the head of Greg Dobbs, the third baseman.
On a swinging bunt, you get Greg Dobbs, inexperienced at third, only 42 starts this year, coming in, and you just plunk it right over his head. What's that expression in golf? A butterfly with sore feet.
So these two leadoff hitters answer one another. Last night Furcal was the star, getting it started for the Dodgers. Tonight Rollins got it going for the Phillies in the top of the inning, and now Furcal is on. Here is Ethier, and he takes a strike. Clayton Kershaw described Derek Lowe as chatterbox Lowe. He went in and took care of a Gatorade cooler down on the bench after that top of the first inning. And then he'll need a new shirt. Why? Because after that, a rip, and off came the buttons, and off came the shirt.
That's after a half an inning.
There's a good chance that shirt is hanging down somewhere in the lower level for the Dodgers, being sold as we speak. Ethier now, Ramirez on deck, and a 1-1 count on the Dodger right fielder, and that's on the inside corner from Joe Blanton. A midseason pickup from the A's. 3 minor leaguers the Phillies traded to get Blanton from Oakland on the 17th of July. He was 5-12 with the A's, 4-0 after he came to the Phillies. But the most important number is that, including the postseason, the Phillies are 10-4 when he starts a game. He won the clincher, Game 4 of the division series at Milwaukee. Slowly hit, and down to second is Furcal, as Utley could not make a play on the runner. Gets the out at first, 1 away.
Just a tad too late to tag Furcal as a fast runner. Utley thought about going to second base and thought better of it. Good decision.
Guess who's coming up? How about this? They're going to walk Manny Ramirez, who has big numbers against Blanton here in the first inning, and put it up to Russell Martin, the next hitter. First base open, up 2-0 in the first inning, and they put Manny Ramirez on base. They've seen enough.
You could more understand this if it were a scoreless game, but when you're up by 2 to walk him, I don't agree with that.
I don't either. I mean, it's the first inning, and you're leading by 2 runs.
That's right. That's right.
You just put the tying run on, and you've got Russell Martin coming up.
Right.
But Charlie Manuel certainly knows enough about Manny Ramirez, his longtime hitting coach with the Indians, and he's seen enough in this series, evidently, to put him on. Here's the sprint pitcher profile for Joe Blanton.
No umpire's warning to either side tonight. That favors Blanton because he can be wild. The Phillies looking for 6 strong innings out of Joe tonight.
So now it's 2 on with 1 out. And here's Russell Martin. It's up to Martin to make the Phillies pay for pitching around Ramirez. Strike 1. .6'3", 256 pounds is this 27-year-old from Nashville. Good pitch. Breaking ball, kept it down. Strike 2.
You can see how close to the plate Russell Martin stands. He's like Chase Utley of the Phillies, both right on top of the plate. And that has led to balls being thrown inside to both hitters, both to Martin and Utley.
Blanton really comes over the top with his delivery.
2 strikes, you change your approach. You try to hit the ball to right field if you're Martin.
The strikeout for out number 2. So they put Manny Ramirez on. They get Martin and now have to deal with a tough left-handed batter in James Loney.
Slider backed up to Martin. Not really designed to be in that spot. It's supposed to be low and away. Big strikeout.
So now Loney. Three for 8 in this NLCS. Another swing and a miss. James Loney is 9 for 26 in his career in the postseason. And the Dodgers ask him for a 2-out hit. He's in the hole 0-2. So Blanton could reward his manager Charlie Manuel for putting Manny Ramirez on by striking out Martin and then taking care of Loney, who he has set up. In the air to center field, well hit over the head of Victorino, off the wall. 1 run scores. It's 2-1. Pounded by James Loney.
Two mistakes here in the first inning by both pitchers. The 0-2 slider to Chase Utley for a double down the right field line. And now the 0-2 fastball. You can see Ruiz standing up. And Loney hammered it, missing a home run about 4 feet. Furcal scores easily. And Larry Bowa, the third base coach, holding Manny Ramirez up. Had he not, he'd have been out at home plate.
Bo is actually talking over to the dugout right now. I'm with you. Ramirez, the way the Phillies handled that, had no chance to score on that ball.
No.
Base hit to give the Dodgers a lead, and that one pops away from Ruiz. Stays right at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right off the very top of the wall, and then a barehanded play by Victorino. Hit Utley, and then Utley threw a strike to the plate. Last night, Blake DeWitt, the rookie second baseman, former third baseman, came up with the decisive swing against Jamie Moyer. A 2-out, 3-run triple in the first, made it 5-0, and that would be all the Dodgers would need. Outside part, 2-2. Moyer could not get through the second. Line drive right at Howard. Hard hit right at the Philly first baseman. The Phillies got 2. The Dodgers answer with 1 on a 2-out RBI double by James Loney. 2-1 Philadelphia after 1 in Game 4. First pitch is a strike to Greg Dobbs from Derek Lowe, who's got a brand new shirt on. After ripping his off after the top of the first. Phillies got 2. Dodgers came back with 1, and now a skipper in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be Dobbs, then Carlos Ruiz, then the pitcher Joe Blanton. The 1-1. Into right field. Will it stay fair? It will. Down into the corner, and Dobbs has got an extra base hit to start the second. A leadoff double for Greg Dobbs, who is now 6 out of 10 this postseason.
Had a couple of hits in Game 2. This breaking ball down and around ankle high, just fair down the right field line. Charlie Manuel will tell you that we're looking for 3, maybe 4 at bats out of Greg Dobbs, and then they'll go for defense if they're ahead with Pedro Feliz.
Here's Carlos Ruiz. 3 out of 9, had a good start in this NLCS after struggling against Milwaukee in the division series. Strike one. You talked about this, I believe it was in game 2. Here's a situation where Ruiz is trying to not just move the runner over but knock him in. On deck is Joe Blanton, who is 1 for 19 overall swinging the bat since he came to the Phillies.
That one hit, his first at bat at Shea Stadium. Yeah, you do not want to move the runner along here. No bunt at all. Certainly different hitting 8th in the National League as opposed to the American League. In the American League, your 8th-place hitter is followed by another hitter, so it would be proper in the American League, but not in the National.
During the last break between the bottom of the first and the top of this second, Joe Torre and the home plate umpire Ted Barrett got into it. Don't know if Mariano Duncan, the first base coach, said something on his way back to the dugout. There's strike 2. But those two had a little stare down, Ted Barrett and Joe Torre. But nothing really came of it.
We think it was because of that 2-1 pitch to Blake DeWitt. The slider that the Dodgers thought was low. And that was a key pitch. The next one he lined out to Ryan Howard.
Counts 0-2 on Ruiz. 31 RBIs during the regular season. Has 1 this postseason. Came in game 2. And a comebacker. Lowe gets the out. Dobbs holds at second. So Ruiz can't get it done, and now it's up to Joe Blanton as the Phillies try to take advantage of that leadoff double. I don't know if people remember that Derek Lowe at one point was the closer for the Boston Red Sox. Had 42 saves back in 2000. He's come out of the bullpen before in the postseason. He's predominantly been a starter, however. Certainly since he came to the Dodgers, his last couple of years prior to that with the Boston Red Sox. He's been with LA since 05 as Blanton takes a breaking ball for a strike.
One of the very important trades that ex-GM of the Red Sox, Dan Duquette, made. Jason Varitek and Derek Lowe from the Mariners for Heathcliff Slocum.
The 0-1 on the outside corner, strike 2. On deck is Rollins, who has a hit and a run scored tonight.
That trade, by the way, was made 11 years ago.
2 out.
Hear about impatience as a hitter. Pitchers are impatient too. They want to get you out 0-2. We've seen too many strikes thus far from Lowe and Blanton with a count 0-2.
Strike 1 on Jimmy Rollins, who has been slumping coming into tonight. Check in with Ken Rosenthal after this 0-1 pitch. Rollins trying to get that run back. There's a ball outside. Ken?
Joe, Jimmy Rollins obviously has been slumping, and a scout today told me that he has been too pull conscious from the left side, so that single up the middle in the first inning was a really good sign. Rollins sees it a little bit different. He says he has too much movement going forward. That's causing him to recognize pitches too late. He says he needs to slow down. He put it to him in really simple terms. He said, the ball is coming at you 90 miles per hour. It's going to get there. There's no need to rush to it.
Thanks, Ken. It's really no different than what Ryan Howard has been experiencing so far in this postseason as well.
That's right. Slow down and wait. The two essential elements of hitting. Waiting and having quick hands. See it as far into the strike zone as you can.
2 balls and a strike on Rollins. Dobbs at second. 2 out now. Now 3-1. Let's go back to that first at bat.
That's that tailing fastball that he hit up the middle. Usually that approach will cure getting out in front. Hit it up the middle or to left field.
Good pitch by Lowe, down and in. Full count. And another meeting from Russell Martin out to Derek Lowe. That was a nasty pitch.
Yeah, there is no cure for this. Swinging at bad balls.
Got it. How about that view? Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability. We will give you a look at the Phillies defense as we go along through this bottom of the second inning. It'll be the last 3 in the lineup for the Dodgers. That means Casey Blake, Juan Pierre, and Derek Lowe. The defense for Philadelphia brought to you by Geico. Burrell, Victorino, Worth in the outfield. Rollins outstanding at every phase of the game, and Ruiz does the catching for Joe Blanton. Blake drops one down foul. Strike 1. Why not if you're Casey Blake, who is career 1 for 21 against this Philadelphia right-hander?
Yeah, he had Greg Dobbs back at third base, and noticing that, he had a good pitch on which to bunt the breaking ball, but he bunted it foul. When you're dragging, that's what you want to do. Either get it down the line or have it foul for a strike.
One ball, one strike. There's Juan Pierre, who's getting a chance to play tonight, batting the number 8 spot. That is driven foul. It's another fall season and another frightening time for residents of California, in this case Southern California again, with 2 massive fires that are burning in the San Fernando Valley, about 25 miles north of Dodger Stadium. It's forced the evacuation of thousands of residents. Good pitch, breaking ball for strike 3, and strikeout number 2 for Blanton. And now Ted Barrett and Casey Blake are yelling at each other while Casey Blake goes back to the dugout. That looked like a good pitch.
Yeah, it's one of those backup sliders again. Stayed in the strike zone. That is unusual for a catcher to set up for a slider inside. That pitch is designed to be away. But that was a backup slider by design from Joe Blanton.
Pierre fights it off and floats it foul out of play. Strike 1. Juan Pierre is in year 2 of a 5-year deal. He has been no doubt frustrated down the stretch as he gets on with 1 out here in the second inning. But Joe Torre has made it a point to tell us on a couple of occasions that the work ethic and the attitude displayed by Juan Pierre has been first class since the beginning of spring training. And now that his playing time has all but dried up, he's still the first guy at the park. He's still drenched in sweat before most guys are even thinking about arriving at the stadium. But he's in a tough spot with a lot of the contracts that the Dodgers have and a lot of the youth, Ken Rosenthal, that this Dodger roster has, particularly with the young outfielders.
Absolutely, Joe. And next year they'll have Andrew Jones coming back. They'll have Ethier. They'll have Kemp. And if they re-sign Manny, there's absolutely no place for Juan Pierre. But he told me today that the reason he works so hard every day is so when his opportunity comes up, he's ready.
Here's a bunt by Derek Lowe. It's foul.
Tell you, something just happened that I have not seen in years. The home plate umpire and the third base umpire moved Larry Boa back to the third base coaching box. Boa moved back, then he moved forward again. Guys get out of that coaching box so they can look in at the catcher's signs. That's one of the reasons. But now Boa back aligned with the third base coaching box.
It was a couple of years ago, wasn't it, when baseball tried to make sure that the coaches stayed in those boxes, or at least didn't come any closer down toward the plate than the front end of that box.
Right.
A hit and run, a delayed break by Pierre, and he's out by plenty. So the Dodgers change up. They let Lowe try and make contact. He missed, and Pierre's out stealing.
High throw from Ruiz. And the tag made very easily by Jimmy Rollins. Thing about Pierre, you've got to hold up. He doesn't get the jump that he normally would to try to steal the base. 40 stolen bases this year.
And now the count's 1-2 on Derek Lowe. Off the end of the bat, little floater out into center, and Rollins drops it. Would have been a very good play had he come down with it over his shoulder. But he could not hang on. Deshaun Jackson, the rookie with the Eagles, is thinking, I could have caught that. Here is for Kyle, who went deep last night, batting right-handed. Bunted his way on the first time up. Little pop bunt over the head of the third baseman Dobbs. So he is now 4 for 14 in this series. High again, 2-0. Under it, and a little fly ball into center field. Easy for Shane Victorino. 2 hits. Pierre out stealing in the inning. We've played 2. Game 4. Philadelphia leads it 2-1. Third inning now. Back to work is Derek Lowe. Allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. Stranded a runner back in the first inning. Worth, a big reason why the Phillies got on the board in that inning with a base hit. Rollins was running. He went to third. Utley with an RBI double, then an RBI ground out by Ryan Howard. Derek Lowe limited the damage by getting a double play ball off the bat of Victorino. And then the Dodgers got a run in their half of the first on a 2-out RBI double by Loney, who missed a 3-run homer by about 4 feet. There's a strike. 2-1 on Worth. So 2-1 Philly in this game and in this series. And on a 2-1 pitch, 2 hops to Furcal. 1 out. That will bring in Chase Utley, who grew up a diehard Dodger fan. Born in Pasadena. Was drafted out of high school by the Dodgers. Ended up going to UCLA, and now he is a star for the Philadelphia Phillies. Utley, who was in the seats here at Dodger Stadium when Orel Hershiser threw a 3-hit shutout in Game 2 in the '88 World Series against the A's. Orel threw out the first pitch tonight, and that's not from any one of the Jaws movies. That's actually Chase Utley when he was a kid. Played the violin and had a parrot. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. His reaction when he was told that we had those pictures was, oh God. There's Orel Hershiser, who Utley grew up idolizing, no doubt, being in the crowd when he was a winner in Game 2 of the World Series. Chase evidently liked things on his shoulder, whether a bat or a violin or a parrot. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Utley's in the hole.
He's had that bat off his shoulder since he's been with the Philadelphia Phillies. Off the shoulder and swinging. He is some player, even though he did have a bad second half. Only 8 home runs since the All-Star break.
One ball, 2 strikes. Through the right side, another hit for Utley. He's 2 for 2. Mentioned Oral Hershiser was honored before the game throughout the first pitch. He said, "You guys should do that Fox tracks on me." And so if you ask Oral, we will provide it. 53 miles per hour and a floater up and away. And also in super slow-mo.
And his son was his catcher.
Hi, Oral. Oh, okay. That had a little tail to it. That was. Is he trying to tell us he was throwing a screwball or what? Strike 1 on Ryan Howard. Ryan, his first time, grounded one to the right side, got an RBI as he grounded out to Blake DeWitt. 1 on, 1 out, and Howard hits a line drive into center. Little stagger at the start on that rocket, caught by Juan Pierre. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by BlackBerry, by WebMD, better information, better health, by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way, and by Universal Pictures' hilarious new comedy Role Models, in theaters November 7th. 1 on, 2 out. And here's Pat Burrell. And ball 1.
Pat Burrell hitting a little above 100 in August, a little above 200 in September. A lot of people thought that Charlie Manuel should bench him, and Charlie said, "I'm a stubborn guy and I like to be right, and I'll go a long way to prove I'm right." He's starting.
Pitch in under his hands, a ball and a strike. Charlie Manuel has the ability to boil things down to pretty simple form.
He does.
As we mentioned in the first inning, he's a very straightforward guy. Really knows the art of hitting and can teach it. Has a good eye from the dugout to know when guys are struggling, when they might need a rest, and guys are hot to stick with him. In the case of Pat Burrell, who didn't do anything in the first 3 games of the division series, he stayed with him, and it paid off in Game 4 at Milwaukee. Another scoreless frame put up by Derek Lowe. Bottom of the 3rd. Ethier, Manny Ramirez, Russell Martin coming up. Dodgers down 2-1. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Dodgers bat down by a run. Andre Ethier is the number 2 hitter in the lineup. Manny Ramirez will follow him, then Russell Martin. The 1-0. 2-0.
It's always important to get the leadoff batter in an inning, but it's particularly important with Manny Ramirez on deck.
Hard hit, 1 hop. Utley gathers and makes the play. 1 out. Back in the first inning with Furcal at second and 1 out, the Phillies elected to intentionally walk Manny Ramirez up 2-0, which is about as much respect as you can show a hitter. Martin followed with a strikeout, but James Loney rocketed a ball off the wall in center field and almost rode it out of here for a 3-run shot. He made it 2-1. That's the score now with 1 out, nobody on.
Joe Blanton threw the first pitch of the 2008 season for the Oakland Athletics in Tokyo on March 25th.
2-0.
In the 6th inning of that game, it was Manny Ramirez who hit a drive to right center field. The Red Sox won that game 6-5. And then Rich Harden won the next night. Rich Harden, of course, now with the Chicago Cubs.
It was an intentional pass his first time up, and the crowd is reacting to Blanton being very careful here and falling behind 3-0. They want to see Ramirez swing the bat. 3-1. Charlie Manuel had been very aggressive pitching to Manny Ramirez earlier in the series. Not so far today. That's right down the middle. Ramirez will stay put. 3-2. Does he get a fastball on 3-2? He does, and it's just low. Blanton thought he had a strikeout. Russell Martin will walk to the plate. Here's what he said to his pitcher Derek Lowe back in the first when Victorino was coming up.
We're not losing this game in the first inning, all right? We got a lot of baseball left, so you got to keep that in mind, all right? Let's go, baby. We got this, all right? Come on. A lot of baseball. Let's go.
And here's the result. 4-6-3. And it was only a 2-run inning. 1 on, 1 out. Martin is jammed. He checked his swing. Ball 1. One ball, 1 strike.
So rare to see a catcher who can hit in any spot in the order. Russell Martin, one of 9 players to hit in all 8 spots in a National League order.
The best numbers he put together were out of the number 2 spot. Who wouldn't once they got Manny Ramirez? But
right.
That spot now belongs to Andre Ethier. Good pitch from Blanton, strike 2.
That's the best pitch he's made all night. That slider right on the knees away. That's where that pitch is designed to be.
Blanton has Martin set up. Chopper to the left side. Rollins gets the out at second and no throw to first. Force out. 6-4. Rollins to Utley. 1 on, 2 out for Loney. We remind you, the 24 fans, the wait is almost over. Television's most addictive drama returns on November 23rd with an exciting 2-hour event. 24 Redemption featuring the all-new Hyundai Genesis. 24 Redemption on November 23rd. Here is Loney, who smoked one into center back in the first inning for an RBI double with 2 out. Now 4 for 9 against the Phillies in this series. He did not start last night. Garciaparra got the start and had 2 hits.
Not only unusual for a catcher like Martin to hit in all 8 spots, but unusual that he runs as well as he does. 18 stolen bases. He was caught 6 times.
That one's up the middle, under the glove of Utley, and Martin will end up at third as the tying run with 2 out. Loney's 2 for 2.
Chase Utley playing Loney to pull. That ball about ankle high. and it eludes Utley. Martin easily to third.
Well, since this series came to Los Angeles last night and tonight, Blake DeWitt has been up in some key spots. He delivered last night in the first inning with 2 out, a 3-run triple. He lined out with runners at second and third, 2 out in the first inning tonight. He could tie it with a hit, and he pops it up left side. Rollins can't see it. Burrell does, and he puts it away. That was a tense moment there between those two. Tough to find the baseball with the sky here tonight. 2 more left. 5 on the night for the Dodgers, who trail by 1 after 3.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. Chris Myers of the Dodger dugout. And after the second inning, Dodger pitching coach Rick Honeycutt talked with Derek Lowe in the dugout. Lowe wasn't comfortable with the grip on the baseball. An umpire attendant rubs down the balls before the game with mud or dirt. Lowe didn't like that, so Honeycutt had a bat boy from the Dodger dugout rub down the baseball so the grip would be a little better, more comfortable for Derek Lowe. And he's coming off his best inning. One of the little things taking place, Joe and Tim, Lowe seems to be pitching a little bit better now.
Thank you, Chris. Well, he got around a leadoff double in the second, got around a 1-out hit in the third, and he deals with Victorino to start the 4th inning here, down 2-1. So he's having a tough time with the grip of the baseball, and by his own admission, he sweats about as much as any pitcher that you'll find across baseball, even on a cool Los Angeles night here in October. Here's what home plate umpire Ted Barrett said about the baseballs tonight.
Good. These baseballs are way too slick. Derek don't like them. I don't blame him.
So Ted Barrett agrees. And
it's almost a monopoly, Joe. The balls are rubbed down before every game by Blackburn's Delaware mud. And it is a specific formula to allow the pitchers to grip the ball better.
Strike 1.
That's been the case in baseball for about 80 years. Blackburn's Delaware mud.
I think most fans would believe that if they bought a regulation Major League Baseball right out of the box at a sporting goods store or wherever they might get it, that's what the balls feel like when these pitchers get them. But as we're talking about, the umpires or the umpires' attendants in their dressing room rub up the baseballs prior to the game to try and take some of the slickness off the baseball. The 1-1. Strike 2. It's no different really in the NFL as teams now can bring their own footballs to games.
Really?
The kicking balls, those are left untouched. But as far as a ball that a quarterback handles, they can work on those footballs to get it into a condition that they like, and when, let's say, a team takes over, they get their footballs out in the game as opposed to the other teams.
As Johnny Carson would say, I did not know that.
The 2-2 pitch is down and away, full count with 1 out, nobody on. Dobbs doubled his first time up, has a full count here. This guy can just hit. Charlie Manuel telling us before the game he's really got 2 different approaches to the art of hitting. He can get into a more power stance, and he can ride the ball out of a ballpark. He hit 9 home runs during the regular season, but he also has more of a contact mode.
He's in that right now with 2 strikes.
Another 3-2 pitch. Easy into center for Pierre. 2 out. Carlos Ruiz is coming up. How about that picture? Tonight's game on Fox, sponsored by the new Hyundai Genesis. It all starts with this. By Miller High Life, good honest beer at a tasty price. And by Bridgestone, for drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing. With 2 out, nobody on, here's the number 8 hitter, Ruiz. Strike 1. Eric Karros before the game on our pregame show talking about the need for Derek Lowe, and maybe pitching on short rest could affect his control. He fell behind a couple of hitters in the first inning when the Phillies put together 2 runs on 3 hits, had a walk in there, but then made that pitch to Victorino to get the double play ball. Up the middle for Kyle. Dropped it. And if nothing else for the Phillies, that allows Philadelphia to clear the pitcher here in the 4th inning.
Very important, an infield hit. Watch Derek Lowe. Behind the back. Unsuccessful. And for Carl, too far to go. So an infield hit for Ruiz, and you're exactly right, Joe. That does clear the pitcher. So at the very least for the Phillies, Rollins will lead off the 5th.
The Dodgers in the bottom of this 4th will have the last 3 in their order: Blake, Pierre, and Lowe. Strike 1. I remember my favorite Hall of Fame white-haired baseball announcer who worked for the Cardinals for about 50 years of his life, who used to say he's big enough to hit the ball, but Lowe is not making it easy. 3rd strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the order coming up. 2-1 Phillies. Celebrities are out. James Brolin, Barbara Streisand, the McCourts. Frank McCourt, the owner, since 2004, in the back right corner of that box of seats down by the Dodger dugout. It's 2-1 the Phillies lead. Bottom of the 4th inning, Casey Blake first up, then Juan Pierre, then Derek Lowe, and a breaking ball is low for ball 1. Blake was called out on strikes his first time up. Ball 2. Chased it. 2-2.
Saying in our scouting report that Joe Blanton can get wild. He's avoided that through the first 3 innings. The only walk in this game to Manny Ramirez, other than the intentional walk in the first inning.
Pretty good rip by Blake. Still 2-2. Blake now 1 for 22 in his career against Joe Blanton. And a good start to the inning for Blanton. A strikeout, and he's taking care of Blake twice. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. We talked to Rich Doobie, Blanton's pitching coach, and talked about the 7 days of rest. And yet Joe Blanton has looked very sharp tonight.
Well, Joe's got good stuff. He made the one mistake to Loney, but you know, he takes good care of himself. He's been well prepared. He's thrown 3 bullpens, I think, in between his last 2 outings, and we expect good things out of Joe. He's been very competitive for us and kept us in all the ball games that he's pitched in.
You look back to last night, and even though your starter Jamie Moyer couldn't get through the 2nd, you guys really didn't have to wear out your bullpen, which should benefit you tonight.
Well, Jay Happ picked us up big time. You know, he gave us 3 solid innings and allowed us just go with 1 inning to Romero, Air, and Durbin, and that kept him, you know, that kept him pretty fresh. Plus, it got him out in that game and out in an environment in a stadium we haven't been in a while.
Thanks, Rich.
All right, thanks, guys.
Pitching coach Rich Doobie of the Philadelphia Phillies. His right-hander has the count 0-2 on Pierre. There's ball 1. On deck is the pitcher Derek Lowe. 1 run on 5 hits for the Dodgers. 2-2 with 1 out to Juan Pierre. Derek Lowe has allowed 2 runs on 6 hits. Pierre lines to Dobbs at third, making a bid for his second hit. Instead, he's out number 2 here in the 4th, and Derek Lowe bats with the bases empty. The Boys and Girls Clubs of America is the official charity of Major League Baseball, reaching more than 4 million kids worldwide. Together, they create a positive place for kids. Here is Derek Lowe, who singled his first time up. Not much is straight coming out of the hand of Joe Blanton. Good running fastball there for strike 1 on the swing and miss.
His pitch tonight has been that slider. He's gotten Casey Blake with that slider twice. That was it. It's perhaps the most descriptive pitch from a right-hander to a right-handed batter. It slides away.
2-2 on Lowe. Lowe trying to battle his way on in front of Rafael Furcal.
This is kind of a pitcher versus a pitcher hitting type crowd right now.
And they get to witness strike 3, strikeout number 4 for Blanton. Each side will have the top of the order started in the 5th for the Phillies. That means Jimmy Rollins. Back after this from your local Fox station. Each side will have the top of their lineup here in the 5th inning. Jimmy Rollins, Jason Worth, and Chase Utley for Philadelphia. They got 2 runs in the 1st, and Joe Blanton has been terrific. And Derek Lowe has picked it up, pitched well, and that's what we talked about with Joe Torre during the break.
Well, Joey's getting ground balls. I mean, he's getting some balls hit on the ground. So, you know, it looks like you're right. The first inning, it looked like his rhythm was out of whack. But so far, I'm pretty comfortable watching.
What's the feeling in that dugout right now with your troops down 2-1 in this series and in this game?
We're good. I mean, we have fight in us. You know, we expect to win the game, and you know, we don't expect anybody to hand it to us. So, you know, we're going to go out here and fight. Blanton's a tough competitor. We know that. We just have to make sure that we have quality at bats.
And it's Blanton and Lowe to start this game, but eventually we're going to get into the bullpens. That's a good matchup too between the two sides because both of you have very good pens.
I think the reason you're in the postseason is because of your bullpen, and not only your closer, because you know, the game of baseball today is your quality start is 6 innings, and you always look to get some help.
Joe, thanks for your time.
Okay, Joe.
Nice. Joe Torre will join us night after night. And for the Phillies, it's been Rich Doobie. We visited with Milt Thompson in game 2, and we appreciate their cooperation. We play in the 5th, 1 out, nobody on, and 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jason Worth. He's 1 for 2. Just spoiled a good pitch. Clayton Kershaw was on camera and delivered the starting lineup for the Dodgers tonight. The 20-year-old gets loose in their pen right now.
Yeah, the Phillies are trying to spread out their runs. They have only scored in 6 different innings in these 4 games. Their 2 wins, they scored in 1 inning, the 6th inning in game 1, and 2 innings in game 2, and only 1 inning here. They have an odd offense in that regard.
A 1-2 to Worth is down and away. Top of the order getting it done for Charlie Manuel. Different look to the top of the order because of the guy at the plate, Jason Worth, who's in the number 2 spot for the first time in this series. With the 3-4 combination, really 3-4-5 is pretty much in stone for Manuel with Utley, Howard, and Burrell. Just stuck the bat out, poked it to second base, and DeWitt takes care of Worth. 2 out. Here comes Chase Utley, who's 2 for 2.
The biggest pitch in this game for Derek Lowe was that double play ball he threw to Shane Victorino in the first inning. That allowed him to relax a little bit. The Phillies only scored twice, and that kept the game in tow for Lowe.
Long walk around behind the mound after that ground out for Derek Lowe, trying to get his heart rate back down. He is a sweater. Sweat just pours off him as we look at a Burger King hot zone for Chase Utley, who during the regular season hit .292. 33 home runs. He and the guy behind him, Ryan Howard, combined for 81 home runs and 250 RBIs. But so far in this postseason, combined for just 7 RBIs. Ball 1. Again, the Dodgers have the top of their lineup coming up in the bottom of this 5th for Kyle Ethier and Manny Ramirez. Let's go there now. All of the scoring in the first inning, 2 for the Phillies, 1 for the Dodgers, bottom of the 5th. Here's for Kyle, 1 for 2. He's got Dobbs pulled way in now at third base after bunting his way on back in the first, even though he popped it over Dobbs' head. Pops it up, foul territory. Ruiz gives it a look, but it's out of play. Kyle missed 125 games during the regular season. Had surgery on his back in July. Microdiscectomy. He came back for the last 4 regular season games, and now he's been in there since the start of the postseason.
You could make a case that this is almost like spring training for Kyle.
Good pitch by Blanton, strike 2. He's got Kyle shaking his head. Just got a piece. Full count.
I think of all the Dodger players that Ned Colletti will try to re-sign, for Kyle is right at the top of the list.
He'll have competition.
Yeah, Joe Torre loves this guy.
Leadoff man is on. Ending the top of the 5th inning was Chase Utley striking out looking, and he had a rather tame discussion with a home plate umpire, Ted Barrett.
Yeah, get your point.
Came back.
I know, but trust me.
You think it came back enough?
No.
Came back pretty much.
We still got a couple more at bats. All right?
Ethier takes the ball high.
That breaking ball outside, and that's what you want to do if you're Derek Lowe. If you miss outside. But I get your point. Manny Ramirez would be at the top of the list, but for Carl, realistically, he's not going to be as expensive as Manny. Nobody is.
Pretty good pitch. Blanton doesn't get the call. It's 2-0. Two and one. Ethier since the 1st of July. Came in tonight hitting .328. Regular season, postseason combined. Count evens 2-2. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of ground outs to second. Into left center field. That ball will fall. 2 on, nobody out, and nowhere to put Manny Ramirez. A visit from Rich Doobie before this matchup between Blanton and Ramirez. Blanton has walked him twice, once intentionally, once unintentionally, maybe. But he's been careful, and now he's going to have to come after him.
One of the most important at-bats in this LCS. Ball hit off the end of the bat by Ethier, but it's first and second and nobody out for that man.
Ramirez in his history against Joe Blanton has 14 hits and 25 at-bats. A .560 average with 1 home run and 8 RBIs. For Ramirez. Here comes for a call. He runs through the stop sign to the plate. He's safe. Tie game.
Ramirez again on the slider, and Pat Burrell misses the cutoff man for the second night in a row. Fine play by Ruiz. He tried to block the plate, and not only Furcal ran through the stop sign, but he ran through Ruiz to score.
Larry Boa trying to stop Furcal. He came awfully close to touching Furcal. Here's Russell Martin, and there's a strike. First of all, Manny Ramirez is just unbelievable. And here's the play at the plate. Awfully close. but just got in ahead of the tag. 1-1.
Good base running once again by Ethier and Ramirez to move up 90 feet.
Scott Air, the left-hander. Off the hand, strike 2. Watch Boa try and stop for call coming around third.
You can't touch him, but it looked like he tried to.
He pulled his hands back right at the last moment. Second and third, nobody out. Dodgers looking for their first lead of the night. Martin stays alive. Coming to the plate with a go-ahead run is Ethier. It's 3-2. RBI, Russell Martin.
I think Manny Ramirez has got to be on third base. The rule of thumb is any ball hit to a shortstop is left, then you go to third. You know the runner at third is going to try to score because the infield's back. This ball hit to the left of Jimmy Rollins. Ramirez stays at second, and that could be a big play. Ground ball, Ethier scores easily. Ramirez should be at third base and isn't.
There would have been no way for Rollins to stop himself, turn and throw to third base.
No.
And with one out in the inning, as you say, that's an important point to make. And now the Phillies have seen enough of James Loney tonight. He's 2 for 2, and now the second intentional pass is being handed out by Charlie Manuel. It'll be up to the rookie DeWitt again. The Dodgers have their first lead of the night. 2 on, 1 out. DeWitt coming up. And we'll remind you that tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevy Traverse. It's everything you've ever wished for, and then some. Charlie Manuel will stick with the right-hander Blanton to take on the left-handed hitting DeWitt. He's had a couple of good swings tonight, and he takes a ball. He's got air in the bullpen, but not making the move. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, that's the advantage of having that right-handed batter. Casey Blake sandwiched in there between the two left-handers, Blake and DeWitt. Blake, DeWitt, and Pierre, I should say. But if they get to low, they will pinch hit.
To the right side. Utley gets the out at second, over to first for a double play. So they stick with Blanton. He gets the double play ball. The Dodgers get the lead in the inning. Manny Ramirez right in the middle of it again. 3-2 Dodgers after 5 in Game 4. Tonight's game on Fox sponsored by Verizon Wireless. Get sports clips, scores, stats, and more right on your Verizon Wireless phone. How about the Verizon game summary? What a game it's been here. Game number 4 this NLCS. Ryan Howard with an RBI groundout, his first RBI of this series. James Loney has a couple of hits, including an RBI double in the first. And Manny Ramirez right back in the middle of all the action with an RBI single in the 5th. It led to another run, and the Dodgers have their first lead of the night, 3-2, and they turn it over to a 20-year-old left-hander, Clayton Kershaw.
Youngest player in the game this year.
He's got great stuff, as you see. lighting up the radar gun there with 94 miles per hour.
And a 1-run lead, and Joe Torre not allowing Derek Lowe to throw more sliders to Ryan Howard. He figures that's enough. We'll go to the left-hander against the left-hander.
Burrell on deck, and then Victorino for the Phillies, who lead this NLCS 2-1. Kershaw, if there was a bright spot for the Dodgers in that game 2 when they lost 8-5, Chan-Ho Park gets loose. Kershaw really showed Joe Torre something and going an inning and 2/3 on the road in the NLCS. He allowed no hits. He did walk one, struck out one. And in that game, he induced Ryan Howard to fly out to left. He gets him here, and Howard checks his swing on ball 2.
Two young pitchers made an impression on Joe Torre in that game too. Not only Kershaw, but James McDonald. Working 3 1/3, scoreless.
The 2-2. Breaking ball misses inside, full count.
Looked like it broke too late. I thought that was inside.
So now a 3-2 is low, a leadoff walk, so a good start to the inning for Philadelphia. Now Pat Burrell is coming up. Chan-Ho Park continues to get loose, and the Phillies have the tying run on. Burrell tonight is 0 for 1 with a walk. Ball 1. It was the 6th inning of game 1 when Pat Burrell went deep off Derek Lowe to give the Phillies a 3-2 lead. They turned it over to their bullpen, and it ended 3-2. Here's a 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes, and Russell Martin goes out to talk to Kershaw. I think Kershaw and Martin think they're getting squeezed by the home plate umpire.
Well, you've got Ryan Howard on at first base. He is not a base running threat, and yet Kershaw is working with a slide step. You don't need to sacrifice power, and that's what you do when you use the slide step. It throws you all out of kilter. He should have his regular, normal leg kick with Ryan Howard on at first base.
If you're just tuning in, the Phillies got 2 in the first. They lead this NLCS 2-1. The Dodgers got 1 in the first and came back with 2 moments ago in the bottom of the 5th. There's ball 3, 3-0. And the 20-year-old has already issued a leadoff walk, and he's 3-0 on Pat Burrell. Kershaw throws a strike. Who wins this battle? Pat Burrell, who hit 33 home runs during the regular season, has 3 this postseason, or this rookie left-hander? Full count. Durbin getting loose for the Phillies. Park getting loose for the Dodgers. But the focus is on Kershaw. Left side in the hole for Kyle. Can't get to it. It's 2 on with nobody out. A walk, a hit, and the Phillies have something going here in the 6th.
Double play situations. Your shortstop and second baseman always pinch the middle for the double play, and because of that, this ball just goes under the glove of Furcal. If nobody were on, I think he makes that play to get the slow-footed Burrell, but not in double play depth.
Well, here's Victorino. The Phillies do not have good speed on the bases. Ryan Howard, the lead runner. Pat Burrell, the trail runner. Tying run at second. Go ahead run on at first with nobody out, and the infield pinches in.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that the Dodgers are playing for the bunt. Both Blake and Loney are in.
Victorino shows bunt, pulls back from strike one.
And you've got the left-handed hitting Dobbs on deck. That changes things, but Loney and Casey Blake still pinched at the corners.
Dodgers sacrificed their best arm in the outfield when they sat Matt Kemp. The start of the night, it's Juan Pierre in center. The bunt is hard to third base. Blake makes the play. The runners advance to second and third. Good bunt, one out.
He did bunt. He did sacrifice, and it is successful, making Casey Blake field the ball. And now Charlie Manuel's going to go to Pedro Feliz, and I would imagine we'll see Chan Ho Park.
So Pedro Feliz will bat for Dobbs. Chan Ho Park is in the bullpen. And it looks like he'll stay there.
You could hear Joe Torre yelling "hey" to try to get Martin's attention to go out and talk to Kershaw to make sure that Chan Ho Park is ready in the bullpen.
So a little stall tactic here by the Dodgers. Rick Honeycutt to the phone to make sure Park is ready. And with Feliz, the hitter, the rookie Kershaw will hand the ball off to his manager. Tomorrow is an off day in this NLCS, and we're back at it Game 5 on Wednesday with Cole Hamels and Chad Billingsley. Meanwhile, at second and third, one out. Chan Ho Park is coming in. Kershaw is exiting. Pedro Feliz will be at the plate for the Phillies. Well, Chan Ho Park just started to loosen up on the mound. Made the long, slow walk in from the bullpen, and he is right into the action here with second and third, one out. How about a series summary brought to you by Verizon? In Game 1, home runs by Utley and Burrell. Phillies won it 3-2. And then it was Brett Myers pitching, and maybe as importantly, hitting. In Game 2, an 8-5 win for Philadelphia. And the series came out to Los Angeles. The 2-out, 3-run triple by Blake DeWitt made it 5-0 in the first. We had that moment between Kuroda and Victorino. The bench is emptied, but order was restored as the umpires did a good job. And now, after a 2-run first tonight by Philadelphia, the Dodgers got 1 in the first, 2 in the fifth, lead it 3-2. Second and third, 1 out. Pedro Feliz takes a strike from Chan Ho Park. Park is trying to bail the rookie Clayton Kershaw out of this jam. He's responsible for those 2 runners.
With the infield back, any ground ball, Ryan Howard will try to score.
And a little pop up into shallow right. Ethier will make the catch, but Howard was coming down the line, had to go back to the bag, and that's out number 2. As Ethier and Blake DeWitt with a miscommunication, that ball almost dropped.
Yeah, if you're the runner on at third base, you go halfway on this ball. There's no way you go back to tag up. But because of the vulnerability of Feliz, that's why I don't think Shane Victorino should be bunting in that situation. The bottom part of the order for the Phillies is not productive enough to bunt runners over in that situation.
Especially since Victorino's been one of their big RBI guys.
That's right.
But they took the bat out of his hands. He dropped down the bunt. Feliz a little pop-up. And now it's second and third, 2 out. And Carlos Ruiz will try and rescue this inning. He's 1 for 2 tonight. This one squirts away. Martin can't find it, and this game is tied. Martin could not keep it at the plate as it squirted away. Down the line came Ryan Howard. It's a wild pitch and a 3-3 game.
Well, I'll tell you, Ryan Howard came very, very close to not touching home plate. This ball eludes Russell Martin. No real need to slide here, but Ryan Howard does. Yes, he got it with his left hand.
So Park unleashes the wild pitch. It's a tie game, and now a hit by Ruiz would give Philadelphia their lead back. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Ruiz is 4 for 11 in this series. 1 RBI. That's his only RBI this postseason, and there's a big one sitting out there for him with 2 out here in the 6th. Good velocity shown by Park, 94 miles per hour as Joe Beimel starts to get loose. And Ryan Howard, who led off this inning with a walk, scores on a wild pitch. Here's a 2-1. 3 balls and a strike with the pitcher's spot next. With a number of options for Charlie Manuel to go to for a pinch hitter. Here's a 3-1. That'll put runners at the corners with 2 out.
How about that? Joe Torre gets the pop fly from Phillies, and then on the first pitch, the slider in the dirt. A guy who has just been sucking up everything the first 4 games. Russell Martin and his counterpart Carlos Ruiz too, for that matter.
Jeff Jenkins will come off the bench and hit for Philadelphia. 29 RBIs during the regular season. And Joe Torre is going to go back to his bullpen. Make sure that Jenkins was announced. He was. Park gets the pop up to shallow right, throws the wild pitch. And now with runners at first and third, 2 out in a tie game, gives way to Joe Beimel. So Joe Beimel takes over the left-hander out of the bullpen for the Dodgers. First and third, 2 out. Beimel had a very good regular season. Pat Burrell the go-ahead run at third. Ruiz is on at first. And so Taguchi replaces Jeff Jenkins. So Jenkins never did come to the plate. Announced as a pinch hitter. It's up to So Taguchi. And he hits it off the end of the bat. Shallow right field. This ball is caught by Ethier. What a catch to keep it tied. How about that play by Andre Ethier in right? 3-3 into the bottom of the 6th. Take a look at Chad Durbin. We talked about it with Joe Torre during our interview from down in the dugout. Now it's going to be a battle of the bullpens, and this should be some ride here to the finish of Game 4.
Joe Torre using 3 pitchers in the top of the 6th inning. Pedro Feliz in the game, stays in the game. He had popped out to Ethier, and what a play by Ethier to end that inning.
First up is Casey Blake, and he takes 2 strikes from Chad Durbin, who's been a nice find in the bullpen for Philadelphia. Blake has struck out twice tonight. Ball 1. Bottom 3 in the order here in the inning for the Dodgers as Blake goes into deep left center field. At the wall, it's gone, and the Dodgers lead 4-3. Casey Blake hit 10 home runs for the Dodgers after they picked him up from the Indians prior to the trading deadline.
First home run since September 16th. A slider.
Now Juan Pierre takes ball too high. Didn't even look like he got it all. But on this cool night, it's still carried out near the 375 mark. Ball 3 to Pierre. They're trying to force Casey Blake to take a curtain call. 3-1.
Joe, we've talked about it during the regular season. If that slider doesn't have downward movement, that is the most dangerous pitch in the game, in my view. That pitch just set up there like it was on a tee. And Blake took care of the rest.
Nobody on or out. A run is home, and Pierre slaps one into left center field, and now he will run and make it into second with a double.
Easy double for Pierre.
And how about Juan Pierre making his first start? 2 out of 3. He's at second, nobody out, and Matt Kemp will pinch hit. First, Joe Torre sent Jeff Kent into the on-deck circle, and then prior to the pitch and the double, he switched to Kemp.
And then Larry Boa, the third base coach, had a long conversation with Matt Kemp, giving the impression that the sacrifice is a possibility.
So Rich Doobie is out to talk. Before the game, a check presentation. One a day, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball, donated $10 for every strikeout recorded during the regular season. One a day men's, specially formulated to support prostate health. Earlier today, the One a Day brand presented a check in the amount of $328,000 plus to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. Here's Kemp. Shows bunt early, and Durbin spins back towards second. Kemp not in the lineup tonight at the start because he's been struggling with the bat, but he'll take over defensively. One of the best arms in any outfield in baseball.
Matt Kemp had one sacrifice all year for the Dodgers.
Ball 1 and the throw down to second. Pierre back easily. Durbin has bounced around in his career, but he really settled in the bullpen this year with Philadelphia. Been with Detroit, minor leagues, Arizona, Cleveland, Kansas City. 71 games, a 2.87 ERA this season. Kemp pulled it back. Ball 2. Ball 3.
Sometimes in a sacrifice situation, you're better off allowing the hitter to sacrifice, because if Kemp walks, then you've got a much better bunter on deck in the person of Furcal. and another base runner.
A 4-pitch walk. So it has not gone well for Chad Durbin here tonight. He was greeted with a home run by Casey Blake. Juan Pierre drove one into left center field for a double. A walk to the pinch hitter Matt Kemp. And with Furcal coming up, Charlie Manuel will go back to his bullpen. Air is coming in. 2 on, nobody out. Dodgers up 1. Phillies tied this game in the top of the 6th inning. Dodgers regain the lead as Casey Blake went deep against Chad Durbin.
Hey, get out there, dude! Get out
there! Blake is basically shoved out of the dugout for a curtain call. Here's Russell Martin.
When you're from a
Why are you so nervous?
little town of 14,000 people, you're reluctant to take a curtain call.
Here's Scott Air. 2 on, nobody out. Good speed on, great speed at the plate. Ball 1. This could not be set up any better for Joe Torre. The lead runner can fly, Juan Pierre. Kemp can run, and the guy at the plate's one of the fastest in the league. Pressure on this Philly defense here. Strike 1.
In a bunt situation with runners on at first and second, there's a slight advantage for a left-handed pitcher because he's falling toward the third baseline. That's why Pedro Feliz is out talking to Scott Air. If you're Furcal, on the other hand, you want to bunt it hard enough to get it past the charging Air and make Feliz make the play.
Ryan Madsen on the right, Clay Condrey on the left for Charlie Manuel. Howard has only one play, and he throws it away. Pierre will score. The runners end up at second and third. Kemp just got back ahead of the tag.
Look how close Ryan Howard is. He looked at third and went to first with Utley covering toward the second base side. A run scores and runners move up. That could open up the floodgates for the Dodgers.
Should be a sacrifice, E3. Pierre came all the way around to score. Kemp's at third for Cowles at second for Andre Ethier. He went around, strike 1. Kemp rounded the third base bag and then had to dive back ahead of the tag by Feliz as they threw in behind him. Ethier made 2 very good catches in the top of this 6th inning. Strike 2. If Air can get Ethier with first base open, they don't have to deal with Manny Ramirez. And that's what Charlie Manuel's rooting for, and Scott Air is 2/3 of the way there with Ethier. It's an 0-2 count. Ethier stays alive. Ball and 2 strikes on Ethier. Runners at second and third, still nobody out. Dodgers lead by 2. And Ethier's trying to battle against Scott Air and hit one of these breaking balls or wait for a mistake. Two and 2. It's been a while since a Dodger crowd has sounded like this. They are into it. 2-2. Runners hold at second and third, 1 out. Ethier broke his bat. And this crowd won't like what's coming. But it's the most predictable thing you'll find in a game. Manny Ramirez will not do anything but walk down to first base.
Easiest call anybody's had to make thus far in the LCS. And Charlie Manuel will probably bring the right-hander in to pitch to Russell Martin. I would imagine Ryan Madson.
I would think. I mean, Madson has been a shutdown guy out of that bullpen, and the Phillies can't afford to fall any further behind here tonight.
Yeah, normally Charlie Manuel would want to bring in Madson in a tie game or when the Phillies have the lead. They really have no other choice. He's got to come in and shut the door.
So the bases will be loaded when one of those two gets to the mound. Russell Martin will be the hitter. And we'll see who's coming in. It's Madson. Bases loaded, 1 out. About 20 minutes ago, here was that catch by Ethier to keep it tied. Dodgers have gone to work. Bottom of the 6th. They lead by 2. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bases are loaded. And Ryan Madson is trying to keep it as close as he can. 5-3 Dodgers. And there's that first pitch strike that every guy coming out of a bullpen wants to find. He gets it on Martin. 7th man to bat in the inning. It started with a home run, then a double, a walk, sacrifice, an error, a line out, an intentional walk to Ramirez, and now the 0-1.
Ryan Madson's best pitch is a changeup. He's been throwing it since he was 12 years old. Local guy from Moreno Valley, south of here near Long Beach.
Hong Chi Kuo is getting ready to come in. High fastball, strike 2.
I don't think Martin will see a breaking ball, either a fastball or a changeup, particularly with the bases loaded, and a good job by Scott Air.
Well, this would be a big strikeout for the Phillies and Ryan Madson if they can get it. Line drive caught. Utley goes to the bag for the double play. What a play by Chase Utley to his right. The Dodgers come up with 2. What an effort by Chase Utley. It's 5-3 into the 7th. Back after this from your local Fox station. What a tremendous play by Chase Utley to make the catch on the line drive up the middle. Pretty well hit by Russell Martin, and then dive to the bag for the double play. And here is a closer look as the glove of Utley beat the hands of Furcal to the second base bag. The 0-1. Top of the order here for the Phillies. Matt Kemp, no surprise, stays in the game. He's in center. He's still batting in that number 9 spot. And the pitcher will hit in the 8th position. That's the guy who Joe Torre has really become a fan of, Hong-Chi Kuo, the hard-throwing left-hander, who's had 4 operations on his arm, 2 Tommy John surgeries on his arm, and yet he can still bring it. Strike 2.
And he's only 27. By the way, that play by Chase Utley, a routine catch, but the dive was not routine. He stumbled initially.
He'll hit 3rd in this inning.
Little stumble right there. The dive to get him.
And that avoided Madson having to deal with James Loney, who's 2 for 2 with the bases loaded and 2 out. Shattered bat. It spins Rollins around in the box, and that allows Furcal a chance to get the out. Make-A-Wish Foundation, part of our Fox Sports Supports charitable initiative, grants 13,000 wishes a year. Children with life-threatening medical conditions, you can help make wishes come true by visiting wish.org.
A lot of sayings in baseball, and one of them on balls inside. Pitchers get in hitters' kitchens. That thing was in the pantry. Whew. Shattered bat.
Here is Jason Worth. Well, you can see why Joe Torre was hoping that the layoff from mid-September to the end of the regular season would allow the elbow of Hong-Chi Kuo to heal. He was not part of the active roster against the Cubs. Again, a right-handed heavy lineup. But he really wanted him against this Philadelphia team, and with bats like Utley and Howard in there, left-handed sluggers, he's a valuable weapon for the Dodgers. Worth is 1 for 3 batting in the number 2 spot tonight. He scored a run. 2 out.
Just overpowering Jason Worth. Joe Torre telling us he would not be at all shy about bringing Kuo in to be the stopper. Use him in the 9th inning instead of the 7th.
And now Utley. Chase has an RBI double, a single. So 2 for 3. Another strike. 96. Bottom of the 7th, it'll be Loney, DeWitt, and Blake for the Dodgers, who at the moment lead by 2. Good breaking ball, strike 2. Exclamation point. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. By McDonald's. And by Chevy, an American Revolution. Good work by the Philadelphia bullpen. Getting out of further damage in the bottom of the 6th. Scott Air and then Ryan Madsen, who's back to work. First pitch a strike to James Loney. Loney's had a nice night. RBI double in the 1st, almost hit a 3-run home run, a single in the 3rd, and he was intentionally walked. Fights it off, fouls it off down the left field line. Strike 2. Eight o'clock here in the West, 11 o'clock in the East in our game summary for Game 4. Phillies up 2-1. Blake hit the go-ahead solo home run in the 6th. Manny Ramirez 3 walks and an RBI single. And they give him a chance to swing the bat. He doesn't miss. And with runners in scoring position, both teams have struggled. Philly 1 for 8. The Dodgers 2 for 9. Crowd doesn't like that up and in on Loney.
It's all part of pitching. Talked about it in our opening. No warning was issued by the league office before this game started.
1 out as Madsen goes right through James Loney. And we'll deal with Blake DeWitt.
Nor should a warning have been issued. During the season, maybe. But each game in a playoff is unto itself.
Talking to both managers before the game, they were agreeing that last night the situation with the pitches up, the one to Russell Martin that led to the one to Victorino, the way the umpires handled it, the way the players handled it, what they said after, what they said even during with Victorino, it was handled extremely well, and it seems to be put to bed. (3-0). TBS will have Game 4 tomorrow night while this series takes a break. We're off. Game 5 on Wednesday. Well, you look at that Tampa Bay team. When we were sitting here getting ready for this game and watching, Matt Garza was outstanding. That is such a good club. Managed by Joe Madden as DeWitt's out in front on that change of pace, and it's a full count. They bring Edwin Jackson out of the bullpen, who wasn't even on the roster in the divisional series, and he's throwing 96, 97 out of the bullpen.
Their bullpen, like the Phillies and the Dodgers bullpen, have been superb during the postseason.
That Rays roster just dripping with talent. A 9-1 win today at Fenway, and I think anybody who followed the Red Sox at all, and I'm certainly in this camp, this still can be. I thought it was going to be a coming out type postseason for John Lester, who's been front and center for the Boston Red Sox down the stretch in the postseason, just almost unhittable, and they hit him today. 3-2. A 1-out walk. A WebMD injury report. We look at Josh Beckett. So much has been made about the oblique strain. He's saying he's okay. For more information on injuries affecting your team, visit WebMD.com. Do you know any more about that situation, Ken Rosenthal?
Joe, I spoke with a scout today who is covering that series, and he said that Josh Beckett cannot get through his pitches. That indicates to the scout that he is indeed hurt. Scott Kazmir for the Rays is another question.
Here's another hit for Blake. And Hong-Chi Kuo will come to the plate with 2 on, 1 out. Finish your point, Ken, because not only was Beckett not good in game 2, but Kazmir wasn't much better.
Right, and his slider has been flat all year, Joe, and this scout thought that he too has some kind of arm issue. His velocity was down, and the Rays have to decide now whether to pitch him in game 5 or potential game 6.
2 on here with 1 out, and here is Kuo.
Kuo up there to bunt. Interested in Terry Francona's remarks about Josh Beckett, saying that from the windup he was fine, from the stretch he wasn't.
Seven home runs pounded in game 2 between the two clubs. Kuo gets the bunt down. It could not have been better. Howard slips and somehow makes an accurate throw to first, and the runners are at second and third, 2 out.
That was an easier play for Carlos Ruiz to make, but Howard overrules, slips, and makes the play. Easier for Ruiz because he's going toward the bag. Howard has to turn around, loses his footing, but makes the play.
Kuo will go back out there and work in the top of the 8th against Howard, Burrell, and Victorino. Second and third here with 2 out, and the batter is Matt Kemp, batting in the number 9 spot. He walked his first time when he was up there to bunt. That put 2 on, 4 for Collar, dropped down to bunt. Howard threw it away. A run scored on that play. Made it 5-3. It's still 5-3. Strike 1. They know how to sing in LA. Kemp into center. Victorino is there. Hard hit, but that ends the 7th. We go to the 8th inning here in game 4. Dodgers trying to even this series up by 2. Angel Baroa takes over at second base as Kuo misses with ball 1. Kuo went right through the top of the order for the Phillies in the 7th. A ground out, 2 strikeouts. There's an off day in this series tomorrow, so Joe Torre can go to Jonathan Broxton as closer for more than 1 inning if he needs to, and Broxton is getting loose for the Dodgers out in their pen along with Corey Wade. See if Howard's taking a strike. Instead, he grounds a base hit up the middle. So a good start to this 8th inning for Philadelphia as Ryan Howard has his first hit of the night. J.C. Romero gets loose for the Phillies in their pen. Here comes Pat Burrell. Out goes Russell Martin. Joe Torre's first year with the Yankees was '96. It was the same year that he lost his brother Rocco, and his older brother Frank Torre received a heart transplant. Years later, his daughter Liz donated one of her kidneys to Frank Torrey, and we congratulate Frank Torrey on the birth of his grandson today, Joseph Patrick, by his daughter Liz. So Frank Torrey's little brother, Joe Torrey, is going to go out to the mound with Burrell coming up representing the tying run. And he has yet to motion to the bullpen.
Well, you notice how slowly Torrey went out to the mound to talk to Quo, and I think he will allow the home plate umpire, Ted Barrett, to come out there, and then Joe will make the move to Broxton.
So that's it for Quo. Pitching change. Burrell will be up when we come back. Tying run will come to the plate for Philadelphia, top of the 8th inning. 5-3 Dodgers out in front. We're off tomorrow, back at it on Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Fox, with Game 5 and a matchup of Cole Hamels, the winner in Game 1, and Chad Billingsley, who was roughed up in Game 2 for the Dodgers. Broxton is left in the bullpen, and Corey Wade is handed the baseball. Corey last night went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit.
So it's not Jonathan Broxton, it's Corey Wade to pitch to Pat Burrell. Joe Torre telling us before the game that Wade will go 1 inning max.
Burrell could tie this with 1 swing. He's hit 3 postseason home runs this year. He's hit 33 during the regular season. So with 1 swing, he can even it here in the 8th. Pop up, shallow right. Baroa is out for out number 1. So Burrell is retired, 1 for 3 tonight, and Shane Victorino, who's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt, digs his way in. Victorino hit 14 home runs during the regular season. He has 1 in the postseason. Came right-handed against CC Sabathia, Game 2 of the division series. That's driven down into the right field corner. This ball is gone for a game-tying 2-run home run. Shane Victorino has tied it at 5.
Victorino has been in the middle of everything for the Phillies. A breaking ball that Victorino goes down and gets. He had 14 homers during the regular season, none bigger than that one. Wow.
So Charlie Manuel makes the change, puts him in the number 6 spot, and he hits a game-tying 2-run home run here in the 8th. Pedro Feliz now lines 1 into left field, and Ramirez is there for out number 2. And the question will be asked of Joe Torre, why Wade here in this inning and not Broxton with an off day tomorrow? Broxton worked 2 innings last night, but he trusted Wade, who started the year in Double-A. In the bottom of this 8th inning, it'll be the top of the order for the Dodgers as Ruiz gets a base hit, and the go-ahead run is on for Philadelphia. Matt Stairs has come into the on-deck circle, and it looks like he'll step in and hit for Madsen.
Casey Blake was guarding the line on that ball hit by Ruiz. Do that to prevent doubles, and Ruiz hits it into the position for a single.
Combined between Toronto and Philadelphia, Stairs hit 13 home runs. Madsen was terrific again, an inning and 2/3. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, and a strikeout. And Jonathan Broxton will take over here in the 8th inning as Corey Wade has allowed the game-tying 2-run home run to Victorino. Victorino with the big swing of the bat here in the 8th. He ties it at 5. What a second half. What a postseason it's been for Shane Victorino. He's been in the heart of all the action for the Phillies. He ties it here in the 8th inning with a 2-run home run, and now Jonathan Broxton takes over. He pitched in last night's game, through 1 inning, allowed a hit, had a strikeout, threw only 14 pitches last night. And he pours a 96-mile-an-hour fastball into Matt Stairs. So far 0 for 2 this postseason with Philadelphia. Veteran left-handed hitter. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Broxton was left in the bullpen when Wade came on. Wade got Burrell on a pop-up, but could not retire Victorino. Now Broxton's in the game after 2 more hitters and a 1-1 pitch. 2-1.
Broxton more inclined to go after Matt Stairs with Jimmy Rollins on deck. Always go after the pinch hitter, not the regular, if you have the option.
Go ahead run at first for Philadelphia. 2 out and a 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Again, it'll be the top of the order for the Dodgers in the bottom of this 8th. That means for Call, Ethier, and Manny Ramirez. Stairs rips one into the night, deep into right, way out of here. And Philadelphia gets a pinch hit, 2-run shot. And the Phillies lead 7-5 in the 8th. Added to this team by Pat Gillick from the Toronto Blue Jays, and he hits the first home run off Broxton since July of 2006.
Fastball right down the pipe, and did he ever get all of it?
Broxton fell behind, had to come in, and Stairs devoured it.
Oh.
.254 career home runs for Matt Stairs. That was the biggest. His first in the postseason, and now Philadelphia leads by 2. Here's the 0-2 to Rollins. Checked his swing, ball 1.
Boy, a devastating turn of events here in the 8th inning. The 2-run shot by Victorino to tie it, and Matt Stairs with a 2-run homer. Neither were cheap.
The 1-2. 2-2. The inning started with a hit by Ryan Howard against Quo. Wade came in, got Burrell. Victorino went deep. Phillies lined out. Ruiz got a base hit again. Another big hit for this Philadelphia club to extend the inning. And then Matt Stairs off the bench with a 2-run massive home run to right. Three-2 pitch. Jimmy Rollins takes ball 4 in this 8th inning. Top half of it continues.
Jonathan Broxton, not unlike a lot of short relievers. He does not have a good move to first base. Plus, he throws a very heavy ball. So when Russell Martin has to cope with that heavy ball, it's very difficult to get in a good throwing position. Jimmy Rollins in an ideal steal situation right here. Playing with house money.
I mentioned the last home run hit here at Dodger Stadium off Jonathan Broxton was 2006, hit by Mike Cameron. Actually originally said period. First home run hit here at home since 2006, and Stairs just drilled it into right. Broxton gave up 2 home runs overall during the season. The Burger King hot zone for Jason Worth, who has been planted into that number 2 spot into the lineup. Here's the 1-0. 2-0, and there's no doubt that a home run like that would rattle any pitcher. Broxton followed the home run with a walk, and now he's behind on the count to Jimmy Rollins, or rather Worth after the walk to Rollins.
Just shocking.
There goes Rollins, got a good jump and steals second easily.
Not only a good jump, but stole on the right pitch, a slider.
Now a hit adds to the lead, which is 2, 7-5 in the 8th. Breaking ball is fouled out of play off to the right. 2-2. Now Greg Maddux gets loose for the Dodgers. Worth is the 8th man to bat in the inning, and the crowd tries to get back in it.
I think almost everybody thinking that harmless hit by Carlos Ruiz to get Matt Stairs to the plate. And then Broxton falling behind, and Stairs looking for the fastball, got it and drilled it.
Now the 2-2. We've talked throughout this series about the excellent bullpen for the Phillies and the fact that now through the postseason they're 84-0 when they lead after 8. They have just regained the lead here in the top of the 8th. Top of the order will bat for the Dodgers in the bottom of this inning. The 2-2. Rollins takes third as Worth strikes out. 2 two-run home runs in the 8th for Philadelphia. Victorino tied it. And ahead in the count, Matt Stairs hit a blast to right. Phillies are having a blast, leading by 2 into the bottom of the 8th. To improve the defense, Eric Bruntlett is now in left field for Philadelphia. Straight up switch, batting the number 5 spot. And now pitching is J.C. Romero. Top of the order for the Dodgers and a ball to Furcal. Furcal's been on base 3 times with a single, a walk, and he reached on an error.
That's what the Dodgers are hoping for, to get one of their 2 guys, preferably both of them obviously, on base for Manny Ramirez in this inning.
2-0. Brad Lidge starts to get loose.
And Brad Lidge has not pitched more than 1 inning this year.
3-0 from Romero.
And if there was ever a time to change that, it's now.
Three and 1. Times these 2 teams have met this season, including the postseason. The home team has won every time. Phillies lead here in the bottom of the 8th. And a walk starts the inning. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By the entirely new Audi A4. Progress is beautiful. And by Sharp Aquos LCD TVs. Change your TV, change your life. Here is Ethier. Chopper leads Rollins right to the bag for the easy double play. 2 out, nobody on, and Manny Ramirez is coming up.
That is the only way that J.C. Romero stays in the game. Charlie Manuel may make the move anyway, but the double play ball, if there were a man on base with Ramirez hitting, there's no way Romero would be on there. But I think Charlie Manuel may make the move anyway. Nope.
Well, Manny Ramirez just now started to walk to the plate. He was expecting Manuel to make the move, but Manuel's going to stay in the dugout. Unless he's going to do what Torrey did earlier. He'll stay in the dugout, but maybe not for long. Ramirez walked up to the plate. Now Ruiz walks out to the mound as they make sure that Brad Lidge is ready.
That's a sign asking the bullpen if Brad Lidge is ready. And the cap waved back is yes.
Well, evidently the phone's not working, and they're trying to get everybody's attention out there and making sure that Brad Lidge is ready to go. Ready or not, here he comes. So Romero gives up the leadoff walk, becomes right back and gets the double play off the bat of Ethier. And Manny Ramirez will bat with 2 out, nobody on, against Brad Lidge when we come back. Chase Utley made a tremendous defensive play in this game, and to this point, a game-changing play. It's brought to you by Sharp Aqua's LCD TVs, the official HD of Major League Baseball. Sharp Aqua's, change your TV, change your life. That came in that 6th inning when the Dodgers had come up with 2 runs, took the lead. Home run by Blake, a run scored on an error, but the Dodgers had the bases loaded, nobody out, and didn't do any more damage. And it ended on that line drive hit by Russell Martin. And Utley made the play. The first out of the inning was on a line drive to first off the bat of Ethier. And now Manny Ramirez, who drew an intentional pass to load the bases in that 6th inning, stands in with 2 out, nobody on, down by 2.
Brad Lidge does not have to be as careful with Manny Ramirez because he has a cushion, a 2-run cushion.
A strike on the inside corner. Brad Lidge showed off his devastating slider when he saved Game 2 in Philadelphia. By far his best pitch. Strike 2 on Ramirez.
Good fastball. Might have been out of the strike zone up.
Two and 2, good pitch. Lidge does not get the call. Base is empty, 2 out. That's ball 3. If Ramirez reaches, the tying run would be at the plate, with Russell Martin waiting to hit next.
The last time Brad Lidge has pitched more than 1 inning, September 19th of last year against the Brewers.
Ramirez into right center field. That ball's going to get down. And Manny Ramirez will scoot into second with a double.
Seems like every time he's challenged, he gets a hit.
I was going to ask you, have you ever seen a guy make it look this easy, swinging the bat?
Nope, not over a 2-month period. A .396 hitter for the Dodgers. Another fastball, and Ramirez doubles.
Now the tying run is at the plate. Russell Martin. Good breaking ball for a strike. Another good slider. That was the 52nd career LCS hit for Manny Ramirez, which ties Bernie Williams for the most ever. And he has presented Russell Martin with an opportunity. But Martin is in the hole 0-2. It gets away. Martin will end up at first. Now it's first and third, 2 out. And the go-ahead run will come to the plate. And Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, will go to the mound.
A strikeout and a wild pitch. Charlie Manuel telling us that Carlos Ruiz is a superb blocker of balls in the dirt, and one gets by him that could be pivotal. That was a slider, and it squirted off the glove of Ruiz. So a strikeout and a wild pitch for Lidge.
It's the second time that's happened in this series. It happened with Furcal back in Philadelphia. In game 2, it led to a Ramirez 3-run home run, and now James Loney, who's had a nice night swinging the bat, could electrify Dodger Stadium. Ball 1. Jeff Kent has come into the on-deck circle.
That first pitch was a fastball, and normally Lidge's slider is not as good to left-handed batters as it is to right-handed batters.
Big swing by Loney.
So after the 3 sliders to Russell Martin, 2 straight fastballs to Loney.
Two strikes on Loney. Loney stays alive.
That last pitch was why the slider is not as good to left-handed batters. If you make that same pitch to a right-hander, it's down and away out of the strike zone. That pitch to a left-hander is down and in. And Loney hits it hard but foul.
Remember, we're only in the 8th. And Lidge, who entered with 2 out, nobody on, has had to work to try and finish off this inning. He gave up the double to Ramirez on a 3-2 pitch, struck out Russell Martin, but on a wild pitch, he reached first. And now in a battle with James Loney. 15th pitch of this inning right here. And Loney flies one into right. Easy for Bruntlett. And we go into the 9th inning. A 4-run top of the 8th has Philadelphia out in front in game 4, 7-5. Brad Lidge will take a seat and wait for the bottom of the ninth in the top half. Phillies bat leading by 2, 7-5, as Utley takes a ball down and in. Utley is 2 for 4. Ryan Howard and then Eric Bruntlett will be the next 2 hitters against Jonathan Broxton. (2-0). Broxton came on with a runner at first and 2 out, fell behind Matt Stairs last inning and then paid the price. With the first home run he's allowed here at Dodger Stadium since July of '06, and Greg Maddux continues to get loose. Utley lines a base hit into right. His 3rd hit of the night. This replay sequence brought to you by BlackBerry. BlackBerry on your game. The Matt Stairs home run. And the reaction in the bottom right by that Philly bench. First career postseason home run for Matt Stairs, who was picked up from Toronto, and that move paid off in the top of the 8th. A 4-run top of the 8th.
Dodgers pitching staff has given up only 123 home runs this year. That's the lowest in the majors. And the team next to them, the Toronto Blue Jays, gave up 134. Tell you, Matt Stairs has got a lot of Toronto Blue Jay teammates very happy for him right now.
He's a good guy and a well-liked player, and looked like he was a little emotional when he got back into the dugout. And a guy who's been around for a lot of years, and it all led him to that moment here in the top of the 8th.
40 years old with another year on his contract.
The 0-1. Strike 2 on Ryan Howard. Well, that emotion was all happiness and smiles, but then it looked like after he got a chance to kind of settle down in the dugout, it hit him what he had just done. The 0-2. Called a ball, 1-2 on Howard. The Dodgers in the bottom of the 9th inning will have Baroa set to lead it off, but pretty full bench. Casey Blake in the pitcher's spot. If anybody gets on, Kemp, who's hitting 9th. Howard grounds to Baroa, out at second and safe at first. That was Blake making the turn, coming across the second base bag.
Ball was not hit hard. Good takeout slide by Chase Utley, making contact with Casey Blake, and you got to figure that Casey Blake does not turn a lot of double plays since he's a third baseman, and Howard beats the play.
Here is Bruntlett, 1 on 1 out. First at bat for Eric Bruntlett, who hit .217 during the regular season. Strike 1 from Broxton. Shane Victorino batting in the number 6 spot tonight. Has done it again for the Philadelphia Phillies. 0-2 on Bruntlett. Think about his hustle in game 1. Four RBIs and a great catch in game 2. Last night in game 3 was in the middle. of the action when the two benches emptied.
That's after hitting his first Grand Slam home run against CC Sabathia in Game 2 of the LDS.
The 0-2 to Brundtland. Left side in the hole for Call. Out over to first. Safe. And the top of the ninth continues. Here comes Shane Victorino, and what a series it has been. The hustle in Game 1. 4 RBIs and a catch in Game 2. Pitch thrown over his head last night, and tonight the game-tying 2-run home run to right off Corey Wade. The Flying Hawaiian, they call him, and he has been flying ever since October baseball started. Foul outside first.
7 players and coaches in uniform fined after last night's altercation. Shane Victorino, one of them, fined $2,500. It's the first time he's ever been fined, and he doesn't know where to send the check or what to do. Who do I pay?
I don't really know what he did to deserve the fine.
No, I don't either. It's a very good point.
I mean, he could have made it ugly.
Yeah.
And he was very controlled. He was upset. But what else was he supposed to do?
Right.
Strike 2.
The misunderstanding came when he went to first base and Kuroda went over to cover first if there were a play on him. And Victorino said everything is cool, and somehow it got lost in the translation.
Well, this crowd hasn't quit. I would imagine there was a little letdown on the part of Broxton when last inning, when Joe Torre went to the mound, he called on Corey Wade and not Broxton, up by 2 with Victorino at the plate. Wade came on, got Burrell, but Victorino went deep to right to tie it. A pitch out, throw down by Martin, and out stealing is Brundtland to send it to the bottom of the ninth. The Dodgers will have the 6, 7, and 8 spots in their lineup against Brad Lidge, who's been perfect all year. Phillies up by 2. Game 4. He took over in the 8th. He'll try to finish it in the 9th. 48 consecutive saves, including the postseason dating back to 2007. A perfect 45 for 45, including the postseason saving games in his first year with the Phillies. And Lidge will deal with Nomar Garciaparra off the bench to start the 9th inning for LA. Strike 1. Garciaparra struck out to end Game 2 back in Philadelphia against Brad Lidge. And he got him with sliders in the dirt. A little jam shot into center, and Victorino hauls it in, 1 out.
Joe, when you think about it, this is the first time all year that Brad Lidge has gone back out to the mound. Most of the time, when he gets his congratulations, it's leaving the mound. And that's the reason that the Phillies are 79-0 this year.
When leading after 8, and 84-0 if you include the postseason. Here's Casey Blake. He's had a nice night with a homer and a single. Takes a strike. He didn't like the call. Joe Torre feared the breakout inning by this Philadelphia lineup. Coming into this game 4 tonight, Torrey's bullpen had gone 11 1/3 innings over the first 3 games and had not allowed a run. But tonight, 5 runs total against the bullpen, 1 against Kershaw, 4 in the 8th against the combination of Wade, Quo, and Broxton. And it marked the 5th time this postseason that the Phillies had put up 4 or more runs in 1 inning. They can score in bunches, and they did with 4 in the 8th tonight. A strikeout of Casey Blake as Brad Lidge blows him away, and the Phillies are 1 out away from taking a 3-1 series lead.
Blake goes down on the high fastball.
Now Jeff Kent. Kent is batting for Broxton. If the Dodgers fail to rally, the winner will be Madsen, who did a great job coming on in a jam in the 6th inning. The loser will be Wade, and Lidge will have picked up his 3rd save of this NLCS. Strike 1. He's thrown 21 pitches, gunning for a 4-out save, but an off day tomorrow. Kent laid off the slider, 1-1. Almost caught part of the jersey of Kent. It's 2-1. On deck is Kemp. If Kent can reach, he'll bring up the tying run.
For a man who led the Dodgers in RBIs this year with 90.
The 2-1 pitch. Kent lines it to Phillies, and the Phillies take game 4 and lead it 3-1 as Brad Lidge gets a 4-out save. A 24-pitch save and a 4-run 8th inning, which included 2 two-run home runs, one by Victorino and a hug from Matt Stairs, who provided the go-ahead runs with a blast off Broxton. Charlie Manuel and the Phillies are 1 win away from getting to their first World Series since 1993. 7-5 is the final before a stunned crowd here at Dodger Stadium as the Dodger bullpen coughed up an 8th inning lead. Our Chevrolet player of the game with his first career postseason home run is Matt Stairs. His performance was everything the Phillies fans wished for and then some. Go to worldseries.com/Chevy to score a virtual game ticket for your chance at a VIP trip to next summer's Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Let's go down to the field and Chris Myers.
All right, Joe, unbelievable game with Shane Victorino, ubiquitous, right? You keep this up, you'll have your own late night show on Fox. This was an amazing game, the game-tying home run. Did you go up thinking long ball?
No, not at all. I mean, I didn't change my approach all night. You know, you got to give it to Lowe. He did a great job again. Got out of the jam early on, but, you know, we keep finding a way. We keep plugging along. You know, you got to tip your hat to Blanton. He pitched pitched a great game also. But like I said, you just got to keep playing. You play 27 outs in the game, and that's what it's all about.
How about the play by Chase Utley when the bases were loaded in the 6th inning to get the double play and get out of it?
I mean, everything adds up. You know, that play was an unbelievable play. You know, I'm following an error by Howard. You know, I mean, just simple mistakes. You know, I mean, Ryan's been great. I mean, it's, you know, just keep adding on. Chase has done a great job. I mean, you just, like I said, I mean, he takes 25 guys to win. I can't stop talking about how, you know, we just keep battling. We keep playing hard and keep having fun.
1 win away from the World Series. Congratulations, all right?
Thank you very much.
We'll see you in a couple of nights. Let's go over to Ken.
Thanks, Chris. We're here with Matt Stairs. Matt, score tied, 1 on, 2 out in the 8th inning. You're up to pinch hit. What's your approach?
Well, I mean, it's the same as when I pinch hit or when I'm playing. You know, I try to swing for the fences, and that's how I've been my whole career is get up there, and I'm a little guy, so I don't get cheated and swing as hard as I can, and I was very fortunate to square one up tonight.
17 at-bats in September. This was only your 3rd in October. How do you stay ready?
Well, I think it's just every day when you take batting practice, you prepare yourself, and the great scouting reports. It's just one of those things where when you have an opportunity, you want to take advantage of it, and I enjoy pinch hitting, and so I drive off that. And I know it's a situation where it's usually on the line, and I've done it well in my career pinch hitting. So like I said, I enjoy it. I look forward to going up there, facing the closers or one of the top pitchers and relievers in the game.
Hey, you're 40 years old. This is your 17th season. Where does this rank in your career?
Well, I mean, it has to be up in probably the highest I've done. But I mean, it's one game. We have to get ready for a day off tomorrow, then the game after that. So, it was nice. It's nice to go home, and I was glad to have my family from Maine was here to celebrate today, and look forward to getting to see those guys tonight. But it was definitely up there.
Matt, thank you very much. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, thank you, and thanks to Matt Stairs and Shane Victorino and Ken Rosenthal and Chris Myers, and of course Tim McCarver, our producer Pete Macheska, our director Bill Webb. The Phillies come up off the deck, get 4 in the 8th when it's 7-5. They're up 3-1. Off day tomorrow, back at it on Wednesday. It'll be Jeannie, Kevin, and Eric after a word from your local Fox station.
Couple of big blows, maybe fatal blows, as the Dodgers bullpen blinked first. Last night, the Dodgers reached out, almost touched Shane Victorino. Look how he answered tonight, game tying. And then the pinch hitter, Matt Stairs, insult to injury with that long ball as well. As we welcome you inside the Fox Network Center, Jeannie's Alaska, along with Kevin Kennedy, Eric Karros. Where do we start? With so many places this game could have turned. And Joe Torre with a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions.
I start right in the 6th inning. The Dodgers have a 3-2 lead right there. Lowe comes out, and you put Clayton Kershaw, who hasn't been in that situation all year, a rookie. Instead of Quo, you end up burning 3 pitchers in the 6th inning. Start Quo that inning, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, and for me, Jeannie, in the 8th inning, Broxton and Wade were up behind Quo. Number one, Quo is untouchable against the Phillies. A 25-hopper up the middle by Howard. I mean, even though Wade came in and got Burrell, why not leave Hanshi Quo in there and try to get another out or two? Even if Burrell homers, it ties it.
Should have been throwing
as a hitter, we were talking. Who would you rather face with stuff? What does it do to the opposition right there?
I don't want to see Quo. I don't want to see Broxton. I'll see anybody else.
And Wade did a nice job, but he faced him last night, and Victorino saw him last night.
Yeah,
with a high
rerun
fastball
this evening, yes.
Popped it up. But to me, it's about the closer. Broxton was up along with Wade. And I said to you guys, before it was happening, you guys asked me, who would I bring in? I said, it's got to be Broxton. I don't care if it's a 6-out save, because you can save a game in the 8th inning as well as the 9th. To me, the heart of the order was the 8th inning right there. That's what you got to get through. After that, it's all gravy. You manage differently in the postseason, and it didn't happen tonight.
All right, we have to manage to get to a promo. Wednesday, it's Game 5 of the NLCS, a chance for Ryan Howard and the Phillies to close out Manny Ramirez and the Dodgers. Coverage of Game 5, maybe a decisive game for Philadelphia. Trip to the World Series on the line Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, in high definition, only on Fox. That is it for us. The Phillies take a commanding 3-1 series lead. We will see you for Game 5 Wednesday night. Good night.
Promotional consideration paid for by